Now I am not a kettlebell expert. There are kettlebell gurus out there that you can follow. I usually like to follow Gray Cook for some of my kettlebell stuff because I think he does a good job of sort of integrating it with some of the movement approach. But it's an exercise that I'd like to include. So we're going to do a half Turkish Get Up today. So I'm using a very light kettlebell because that's what I'm comfortable with in my technique. As your technique improves, you can do heavier kettlebell, and you can certainly see people doing much heavier kettlebells on YouTube. But if I'm holding the kettlebell in my right hand, I'm going to have my right knee bent and my left leg straight. My other arm's going to be at about a 45-degree angle, and this arm is always going to be, or I'm always trying to be, reaching it up toward the ceiling. I'm going to watch it as I go, I guess just so I know it doesn't fall on me, I suppose. But here I go. So a lot of people make the mistake of turning it into a sit-up. It is not a sit-up. It's a roll to this shoulder. And I'm actually trying to extend through this shoulder as I go. So I don't want to have that shoulder sort of in my ear. I'm trying to lengthen myself through that shoulder. Then I'll come to the elbow, and then I'll come to the hand. So going to the elbow isn't sort of a nice helper. It is just the technique. And I'm always trying to be up nice and tall. So when I come back down, I'll come back down to my elbow, trying to stay long here, not have that shoulder jammed again. And then I'll come back to my shoulder and then back down flat. So one more time. I'm going to roll to the shoulder, press to the elbow, press to the hand, nice and tall. Then I'll come back to the elbow, back to the shoulder, and down where I started. For the standing forward hip circle, you're going to come forward as high as you can without leaning backwards. And then you're going to do hip circles, so pointing your toe, drawing circles with your toe, a diameter about 10 to 20 centimeters each direction. Then once you've got that going on, you're going to visualize, this is the cue we use, is that your foot is in a pail of honey, and you feel all that extra resistance. So you're, with your mind, you're generating extra force as though you're moving your foot through honey. So when you do squat jump to accelerate, you'll do the required number of just squat jumps, and then quickly try to transition into acceleration. So if we're going to do 3 squat jumps into an acceleration, here's what it'll look like. Now there are different ways I can do that acceleration. So in the first example, I just went straight ahead. I went from here straight ahead. But a lot of times in hockey, when you stop, you're starting with a crossover step. So we'll sometimes do a crossover acceleration from a half kneeling position. So again, I'm leaned forward. I've loaded up through here. Start easy with this one because you're also going to be putting a lot of load on your groin, on your adductors. But I'm going to lean a little bit in the direction I'm going to go, and then I'm going to drive off, and this foot comes down and gets a good push. So let me show you what it looks like. Little lean, little lean. When I go off my trail leg, it's going to come out and then get me started, and then right into acceleration.